What's going on YouTube? R to the double E dash the ZON coming at y'all once again. And I'm just basically making a video now updating you guys on what I've been playing lately, but also some updates to my game collections. Now, they're not physical updates, they're things I've downloaded. So I'm just going to speak on, it's 3 titles in specific on 2 different platforms. And I'm just going to talk about them, give you my impressions on them. One of them I had been waiting for about a year, so I'm thrilled to finally have it. But yeah, man, I this past weekend I did play a little bit more Wii U. Got into some Wonderful 101 again, and tried to do some more completion on Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. And it's funny because I do complain a lot about Nintendo in these last couple months and their lack of motivation, their lack of support for the console. But I cannot deny that the games that are out on the console are just stellar. You know what I'm saying? Every time I play Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, I'm reminded of just what true games are. You know, the passion, the perfection, as far as the programming and the design of a game, the quality. I get reminded of that every time I play a Donkey Kong Country or Super Mario or Wonderful 101 is another one. But yeah, man, I was enjoying that. But then I also got into the PS3 and just visiting the PlayStation Store, seeing what they had online. And about 2 weeks ago, I downloaded. Yeah, it was right before WrestleMania. I downloaded for $40, I think it was $39.99 if I'm not mistaken. WWE 2K14. I have 2K12. Didn't get the 13, but I just felt like I wanted a new wrestling game. WrestleMania time. I was got my juices flowing, and I was very interested to try this 30 years of WrestleMania mode that they had. After having the game for about 2 weeks and playing vigorously through it, I haven't finished the WrestleMania 30 years of WrestleMania yet, but I'm getting out of the Attitude Era now. I'm gonna just say like this, man. When it comes to wrestling games, and I'm guilty of this, as we all are. We always have the tendency to say that because it's not as good as the N64 wrestling games, then it's garbage. Now, don't get me wrong, there have been a lot of wrestling games that have come after the N64 era that have been garbage, straight up garbage, like despicable games. That is true. But there's also been some other games that have come along that maybe not have been as good as the N64 games, but are basically the next best thing. Like WWE Day of Reckoning 1 and 2 on the GameCube come to mind. Those were awesome wrestling games. They weren't as great as the N64, but they were like a step under. It's more than enough for me. WWE 2K12 I thought was very well done. Now, getting on to 2K14. 30 years of WrestleMania mode. WWE Universe mode. All the different match types. Everything that you can imagine. A roster that has to be close to 50 wrestlers or something like that when it's all said and done, when you unlock everybody. Wonderful graphics, incredible presentation, authentic. It's one of the most, if not the most authentic wrestling game in history. I'll say that right now. Everything from the entrances to the look of the characters to the mannerisms, the movements, the arenas, just the whole vibe. It's like a big love letter to wrestling fans. Now, where can I start? Basically, like I said, the graphics and the look of the game are amazing, but the controls are also very well done. Now, here's the thing. Here's one of the reasons that we always say, oh, it's not as good as the N64 games. The control system. The N64 games, WWE No Mercy, WWF No Mercy, WWF WrestleMania 2000, WCW NWO Revenge, WCW NWO World Tour, those 4 are the greatest wrestling games of all time. And a lot of it had to do with the way the game's controlled, the grapple system that AKI instituted in those games was just nothing short of perfection and never needed to be tampered with. You pressed A for your weak grapple, and then you either pressed A or B with a direction, and there you had a list of about 10 to 12 moves that you could pull off. Then you would hold A for your hard grapples, and the same thing, B, A, or direction and B and A or whatever, and that's 10 or 12 more hitting moves. You had your corner moves, you had your running moves, your running grapple moves, top rope moves, springboard moves from the ropes. The control system for those games was just perfect and never needed to be messed with. For some reason, Day of Reckoning had a similar one, but not exactly. You know what I'm saying? And 2K14 has the same issue. It has a very good control system, very good grapple system, but it's not the one from N64. And that was the best one, and I don't see why they don't go back to that. But it's still very good. It's very playable. What else? The 30 years of WrestleMania mode is amazing because you go from the very first WrestleMania through all 30 WrestleManias, and you wrestle. Excuse me. You wrestle some of the biggest matches in history. I mean, you wrestle your Hogan versus Andre the Giants, your Macho Man Randy Savage versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, everything. Undertaker versus King Kong Bundy. Everything, Diesel and Shawn Michaels, all of that's there. And as you go doing that, there's historical objectives that you need to fulfill during the match. There were things that actually happened during those matches. So it's real cool because, like, for example, be Hogan versus Savage, the mega powers colliding. And in the middle of the match, Elizabeth will come down to the ring, just like she did in real life. And you throw Hogan to the outside, and she goes to check on Hogan, and Savage gets all mad, and everything breaks down the way it's supposed to, like it did in real life. And you need to fulfill these WrestleMania moments and historical objectives in order to unlock the different costumes, the different characters, the different arenas, and all that fill up your character roster and your arena roster and all that in the normal game. So in the normal game, I have my normal roster of current day WWE superstars. Triple H with his shaved head now. CM Punk, even though he left, this was made before he left. Brock Lesnar, Undertaker, all of them are there. Kane. But then, because of all the characters I'm unlocking in the 30 years of WrestleMania mode, I have Retro Kane. Kane with the red mask from WrestleMania 14 or whatever it was. I have Triple H from 2002, retro Triple H with the hair, the game, when he became the game. I have Macho Man Randy Savage from all the old WrestleManias, Ultimate Warrior and all that. So it's very good, man. I'm having a blast with the game. My little boy is 3 years old and he loves playing it with me. He's getting the hang of it, man. So, I'm breeding some wrestling fans, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, WWE 2K14, like I said, this is just some thoughts on the game, not a real review. I might do one later. But yeah, definitely worth it. A very good wrestling game. Probably the most authentic wrestling game as far as the authenticity and the look and the feel of it in the history of games, man. So definitely worth a try. Then also, I had started playing this when it first came out, and I really was into it, but I just lost interest with all different things. Like it happens to me so many times. I went back to it finally and got back into it, and I'm just loving it. The Walking Dead. Now I played that on this iPad that I'm making this video on. I don't do mobile gaming. I don't play on mobile devices, but this game is worth it. Now I think it's available on the PS3, but I already had it on the iPad. I wasn't going to pay for it again. Very well done, man. The storytelling in this game, the voice acting, the different scenarios, the decisions you make or don't make, things you say or don't say, affecting the gameplay. It's just amazing. It's a hell of a lot better than Walking Dead Survival Instinct. It's awesome. Telltale Games did a great job on that. I know this is old news, but I'm just playing it now for the first time, really going through it, and I'm just in love with it, man. It's suspenseful. You get very emotionally invested in the characters. They mean something to you, and that's when you know that the developers achieved the goal as far as game design and storytelling, and it's just epic, man. It has a lot of characters from the original series. Like you have Glenn in there. You have this guy whose name is Herschel Green. I don't know if he's the same Herschel from the show, but he kind of looks like a skinnier version, him younger. And he does have a farmhouse, so there's a lot of little nuances there to the original series, but it's very, very well done. I haven't found anything bad about it. The only thing bad about it is that it's on iPad and I don't have a controller in my hand, which I prefer. But I got used to it. But it's very well done, man. Music, sound, and you play it with headphones. It even tells you at the beginning of the game, best played with headphones. I put it on, the sounds and the music and everything scares the crap out of you, man. So very, very well done. And last but not least, this game I have been waiting for about a year. I had heard about it, like I said, about a year ago. Saw the trailer for it. Saw the trailer for it on PlayStation Network. Saw it on my, online. Was blown away by it. Was like, finally, it looks like they're gonna make a game of this franchise. That's the definitive game of the franchise. Finally, a return to glory for this particular franchise. And then I was waiting for it, and then after a couple months, everything went quiet. Couldn't find anything on the game. No new screenshots, no new trailers, just quiet. Apparently, it came out last September. I just found out about it this weekend, and we're in April, So it just was one of those weird things where the game went silent. I didn't hear anything about it forever, and then I just figured that it wasn't going to come out, and I said, screw it. And then I went on the PlayStation Network this weekend, and I saw the banner for it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. And I was like, no way. And it was out. So I bought it, $15. Let me give you my thoughts so far. What I can't stand about Ninja Turtle games is that no matter how good they may be, people always find a way to hate on them and bash them. Avid fans of the franchise, instead of giving the game a chance, and when they give it a chance, you know, cut it some slack. You know, they want this ultra perfect game that you're really not gonna get out of what is always gonna be, at heart, a beat 'em up. There's not much depth there. It's a beat 'em up. You go from level to level, beating the crap out of enemies, trying to get to an end boss. It's an old school, ancient as time itself game design, and it's tried and true, and it doesn't need to be tampered with. My opinions. I bought this game, booted it up, was very disappointed at the beginning. Let me tell you why. You start the game playing as April. Why? You don't fight anybody as April. You're just running through this level. The empty-ass level. Why? In that, there's a lot of screen tearing and a lot of little bugs that you can see after all the time that was spent developing this game. Okay, those are the only negatives. Because once that intro level is over, the way the story is told through comic scenes, you know, colored comic book scenes and all that with voice acting is awesome. And then when you finally get to play, it is awesome. Okay, you play as all 4 turtles at the same time. Let's say I'm Leonardo. Well, the other 3 are right there, you know, computer controlled, fighting against the enemies with me, and I can swap on the fly to any one of them and pull off some amazing combos with their specific weapons. The look of the game, graphically, it could have been a little bit better, but it's still very nice, very stylized, a very great lighting effects in this game, and the turtles have the look that they have in the new Michael Bay movie that's coming out. So they are the modern day, updated, brand new look Ninja Turtles, which look awesome. Splinter looks awesome in this game. There's a lot of features, man. Not just the normal game. There's drop in and out co-op play. There's you know, the regular campaign mode. There's missions mode. There's multiplayer. There's extra content and art to unlock and to find, and you know, just bonus missions that you can unlock. So there's a lot of stuff for a $15 game. Graphically, like I said, it could have been better, but it's still very nice, very clear. The voice acting is spot on. All the turtles sound great. The combat is very, very well done, because it's kind of a variation of Arkham, the Arkham City series, the Batman Arkham series, as far as it's striking, and when you see them about to attack, you press the counter button and then you pull off a counter move. But the turtles can be, each one individually can be upgraded, and you know, basically unlock new moves and new finishers and all that. And there's some amazing double team and triple team and even quadruple team moves that the turtles all pull off together. The foot soldiers, they have the look like they had in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie back in the day. Shredder looks awesome. It's very cool. It's a very dark game because it's called Out of the Shadows, so it's very dark, dimly lit, very cool looking. Free-flowing combat, man. I love it with the turtles and the way that they look, the way they fight. Awesome. You finally have a Turtles game that's not just attack, attack, attack. There's an attack button with your weapons, but there's also a kick button. So you can mix it up and come out with some ridiculous combinations. You can not only counter one attacker, but counter 2 at the same time. Like Leonardo has his 2 swords, and he'll be surrounded by, you know, 2 foot soldiers in front of him, and they'll both go like that to come down on him, and you can literally block with both swords up in the air like that. You know, hold both hands up and block. One sword blocks one weapon, you know, and then pull off a crazy move. Raphael, very strong, very big MMA type fighting style. They all have different fighting styles, and it blends perfectly. And what I love about it is that you're running through the levels, all 4 of you, so it's more real. It's not like I'm one turtle running through a level and then I, you know, do a little spin like in the old game and turn into another turtle. No, all 4 of you are there, and you just swap control between each turtle as you please. So yeah, man, I don't see why this game, because I saw a lot of reviews. It got some negative reviews, or some, you know, mediocre reviews. Yo, this is the best Ninja Turtles game that's come out in a long time. You do realize that, right? It's better than Turtles in Time Reshelled. It's probably the best game since Turtles in Time. So, you know, give it some slack, enjoy it. Anyways, man, that's my time. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. That's what I'm playing lately, man. Turtles and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Out of the Shadows. I'm loving that game, bro. And WWE 2K14 is off the hook. And also The Walking Dead on my iPad. So, you know, right now my Wii U is getting a little bit of a rust. You know, like I said, still playing Wonderful 101 and Donkey Kong and stuff like that on there. So, can't wait for Mario Kart, man. We about a month away. God bless. Peace.